Welcome to Nutty Buddy Sports.
Okay, welcome back to Nutty Buddy Sports, and a big bombshell just happened, and so this is going to be our instant reaction to the James Harden, Ben Simmons trade that just went down. We were all anticipating it. It finally happened after all the rumors, everything we were reading, all the clickbait articles. It happened, and with me to break it down, Avery. How's it going, man?
I'm sitting here at work doing my favorite thing, talking about sports. Life's good.
Life is good. Avery, hit me up. What happened? Tell me about this trade.
All right, so Woj bomb just a few minutes ago. The Brooklyn Nets trading James Harden to the 76ers. In return, they get Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round draft picks, 1 in 22 and 1 in 27.
Okay, so that's what the Nets received.
Correct.
Okay. And the Sixers got...
They got James Harden.
I think Paul Millsap.
Yes, Millsap was the other guy that I was looking for on the trade.
Yeah. Okay. Avery, what's your initial thoughts on this trade?
I think it's a win for both teams. It's easy to say. You have 2 superstars on 2 teams who don't want to be there. And it was kind of crazy that the Harden news came out, a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, that he didn't want to be there. He went there and formed a super team with Durant and Kyrie, and everybody just presumed that they would take over the league. But given Kyrie's vaccination status and not being able to play home games, Durant getting hurt doesn't help them. And Harden, I don't know what his deal is. He just doesn't seem happy anywhere he goes. I hope it works out for both teams. Not really, because I'm a Bucks fan in the Eastern Conference. But I think it's a win for both teams.
Okay, nice. I don't know. I feel like the Sixers gave up too much. And the reason why is, like, I know they really wanted Harden, and like Harden is a Daryl Morey, like them two are connected at the hip, right? Like we know this is what more Daryl Morey likes. And he likes to really get 2 superstars in the same spot and they'll work it out. Joel Embiid has had an MVP type season so far in the style of play that they have played up to this point in the season. And I feel like James Harden is going to disrupt that, because you can't trade for James Harden and not change your entire offense, basically, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Correct. And so also Andre Drummond's a prehistoric center at this point. I love the guy back in 2014, but now it's hard to play him. The 2 first-round picks are crazy. I think I just feel like the 76ers overpaid to get this done. I like it more for the Nets personally. I like the idea of Ben Simmons with Kevin Durant and those 2 on the defensive side of the ball. I really like the idea of that. I like Seth Curry, like on that team, getting more shooting around Durant and what will be Simmons and Kyrie, if depending on when and where they're playing Kyrie. But I don't know. And also the deal that Harden is on, right? It's a 5-year deal. He doesn't really show any interest in staying in basketball shape. So how long is he going to be good on that contract? And then the other thing is with Harden is he, like, I think you mentioned one of the biggest parts of it. He's never happy.
No matter where he's been, he's getting paid all of the funds to play a sport for a living, and he's not happy anywhere he goes.
Correct.
It's just absurd. Now, I will say, I do like it for the Sixers. They've basically replaced Seth Curry and Andre Drummond with James Harden, because Simmons wasn't going to play. And
Correct.
Like you said, Embiid's playing at an MVP level. I think when you add an all-star caliber player to that team offensively, it makes a big difference. But I can see how it hurts him defensively quite a lot.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. Again, I just feel like it's okay that we don't agree, by the way, Avery. I'm glad you like it because I was on
boy.
I don't like being on the podcast and like me and the guy agrees on every little thing. I don't like how it's going to change their offense though, because it's got to change. right? So Embiid is not going to, hypothetically, he will not be the same in the same style of offense that he was where he's playing at an MVP level, correct? Like I'm just assuming this.
You would think so, although being Embiid playing at an MVP level, he's going to demand the ball, and I don't think Doc Rivers is going to want to change what they're doing a whole lot. This is a pretty good team to begin with.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
if you look at what they gave up, they really didn't give up much aside from the 2 first-round draft picks. I mean, Drummond is, like you said, a prehistoric center.
Right.
Seth Curry is a good shooting guard. He's okay.
Yeah.
But you're getting James Harden back in return. I do like it more for the Nets. I think that they won the trade.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you at the end. Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, I think, but it's good. So we're on the same page there. We're on the same page there. But so again, I was talking to Clint about this, and I said this is like, if I'm the 76ers, I'm biased. Like, I understand, again, the attachment for Harden and Daryl Morey. I'd rather have Bradley Beal, because the guys that Embiid has been successful with have been like JJ Redick and Seth Curry. Seth Curry is having like a career year this year. And it's because those guys are fluid players. Like, they can play on and off the ball. James Harden is not fluid like that. He doesn't play off the ball very well. He likes to sit there and watch whoever else is playing, right? So that's where it's a concern to me. Now, will he adjust? Well, he's a superstar athlete, so maybe he will. But there isn't any evidence of that. And again, I go back to I think the strong point that you made about this is, when you think about how he was in Houston and how Houston did everything for him, that he wanted Chris Paul, they brought in Chris Paul. He didn't want Chris Paul, they brought in Russell Westbrook because he wanted Russell Westbrook. He didn't like that. He wanted to be traded. Now he doesn't like his situation in Brooklyn, so now he wants to be traded. If they don't get to the finals or whatever, if he's to blame, how quickly is he going to turn on Philadelphia then?
Right. I just don't think that there's a winning scenario for him unless he wins a finals. And I just don't think he's that kind of a player. He'd have to go, again, to a super team. He'd almost have to go to like the Bucks to be able to win a championship. And he'd have to be the 4th guy.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's not that guy that you rely on in an NBA finals game, because he doesn't get the calls that he does in the regular season. That's the big holdup with Harden.
Yep.
Is he's an excellent regular season player. But when it comes to playoff time, it's just refereed differently. He doesn't get the calls. He's still a good shooter. He doesn't try on defense. It's just different come playoff time. Like, playoff hockey is so much different. Playoff basketball is so much different. And he just doesn't perform.
Correct. Yeah. And I agree with that. So let's just look a little bit on we talked a lot about the 76ers. I'll probably do a whole podcast about all the trades that happened, but for now, let's just go with, because this is an instant reaction. Let's go into the Nets side of it. What are you thinking for the Nets as far as this trade goes overall?
I think it's a huge win. You get rid of Harden, who, like I just mentioned, doesn't perform well in playoff time, to get arguably one of the best defensive players.
Yeah.
And I was texting Luke about this just a little bit ago. Their offense just has to run through Kyrie and Durant when he's back healthy.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys can carry an entire offense. And all you need Simmons to do, you don't even need him to play offense, really. I mean, he can stand in the corner. He can grab offensive rebounds. He's good at that. But the biggest role he'll have is defense, and he's really good at that. That's what this Brooklyn team has been missing, and they've been really good this year.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you on that as well. So this is where we will agree on this. I love the fact that the floor will be nice and spread out for Ben Simmons when you have someone like Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a fluid player. He can play with or without the ball, so he'll work well with Ben Simmons. You bring in Seth Curry, which is also a very good spread the court type of player. Kyrie and Ben Simmons fit might be a little sketchy, but I feel like they could take turns with the ball with Durant. And like you said, all they need him for is transition and defense. That's it. Right. So, and you get 2 first-round picks, one in 2027 when Embiid, health-wise might not be playing, who knows? And then James Harden, who might be on a different team at that point. So,
yeah, and you would think Andre Drummond will probably get cut. He'll probably get to sign wherever he wants, because they've already got Claxton and they've got Aldridge playing at that position. So unless they view Drummond as an upgrade over Aldridge, mean, it's kind of a toss up there, I guess.
Yeah.
But we didn't even talk about Seth Curry being added to the offense. He's another really good shooter on the perimeter for those guys. They're going to be really good. I, as a Bucks fan, I don't like the trade because, going into the season, the Nets were the favorite with their big three. And I think their big three just got better as long as you don't rely on Ben Simmons to do anything offensively. And how could you?
Right. Yeah, no, that's true. So let me ask you this, as a Bucks fan, who are you more afraid of after this trade?
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of the 76ers by any means.
I'm with you. If I'm a Bucks fan, I'm more afraid of Brooklyn. I still think that the Bucks are the favorite, though. I think adding Ibaka is important. They just made that trade as far as Lopez insurance, which we kind of talked about off air. But I'm with you. I'm skeptical of the fit and how it's going to affect Embiid. I think Embiid's still going to be a great player, but you just got to change your whole offense with someone like James Harden. You just got to, because he's not a very fluid player. He plays one way, and that's the way you have to kind of play with him.
And I hate to be the downer on Embiid, but he's more injury prone than pretty much anybody else. And he's playing maybe 35, 36 minutes a game, playing at a really high level.
That's true.
But it's also the regular season, and he has to go 110% every night.
Yeah.
It might come back to haunt them come, the first round.
Yeah, I would say maybe Anthony Davis might be a little bit more injury prone than Embiid, but you are right. He is one of the more. Yeah, no, but that's fair. Okay, man, who do you think won this trade?
Brooklyn. I don't think it's close. Harden probably won't even stay for another year and a half. They get Simmons, who's an elite defender, to pair up with one of the two best duos in the NBA offensively.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Nets won this trade. I don't know if it's even that close. I thought even a Simmons for James Harden. I'm I still like that better for Brooklyn when we were discussing this on the podcast on Tuesday or Monday when I did it with Clint. So now I like it even more for the Nets because they got Seth Curry and
two
picks.
first round draft picks.
Yeah, man,
that
I cannot
like a
believe
total
that.
win.
Yeah, I personally think the Nets won this trade by a mile, but we'll see, because if Brooklyn, if the 76ers win a championship, then it's all for everything. It doesn't matter at that point. So
yeah, it's boom or bust for them. And I get it. You're just trying to keep Embiid happy, and he wasn't happy with any scenario with Ben Simmons on the team. So
correct, because he wasn't going to play.
Making their superstar happy, right?
Yeah, I agree. Anything else on the trade, Avery?
No, not on the specific trade. We still got another hour and 17 minutes left before the trade deadline. So we'll see if there are any more Woj bombs.
Yeah, we got another one, which I'll have to. The Celtics got Derek White off the Spurs, so for Josh Richardson, which is sort of a smaller trade, but yeah. Anyway,
we'll see. I'm curious to see if the Grizzlies make any moves. I hope they don't, but there's rumors going around that they're trying to package some of their older players.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Well, I'll text you, see if it does happen. We'll have to do another instant reaction.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, thanks a lot, Avery. Thanks everybody for listening. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to hear some trade discussion and NBA talks, the link to the podcast where we talked about the NBA is down below. We'll talk to you guys soon, and thanks so much for joining us.